So, sound in Warzone. It sucks.
I don't hear it. I don't hear the fucking steps. It's so fucking terrible.
Well, today I've got for you guys a secret setting in Warzone, which I guarantee you guys aren't using, that is absolutely mind-blowing. Before we jump into it, today's video is sponsored by Blazing Boost. Now, if you are a Warzone or Vanguard player looking to step up their game, then you need to check these guys out. You can select exactly how long you want to hire a coach or a Play with Pros service down to the hour, so you know exactly how long you're going to be playing for. Really nice and customizable. They've got over 23,000 Trustpilot 5-star reviews, so use my code 4eyes5 at checkout, get a service booked, and step up your game with Blazing Boost. I don't really like to use this whole secret setting thing, you know, it sounds a bit like clickbait, but I truly believe that this is pretty secret because barely anyone's running this. They look at this setting and they just go, no, that doesn't sound good, I'm gonna go for something else. And I'm here to tell you that you're all doing it wrong. So, options, audio mix. Most of you guys are gonna have this at boost high or boost low. Some of you might have it at boost. And the reason why, I can understand people's reasoning, and this is what everyone says in the best audio settings videos, is that boost high, well, it boosts the high frequency sounds. And people say, oh, footsteps, they're high frequency, so I want to hear them louder, so I boost the high frequencies. That makes sense, right? And then you get other people who say, no, footsteps are low frequency. You know, it's like the stomping sound. It's not like a pitter-patter. It's quite a stomping, hard sound. So we actually want to boost the low frequencies. And I can understand, but you guys might think that. But honestly, these are not the best settings at all, because that's not the problem. The problem isn't, you know, what frequency range the footstep sounds are. The problem is just the overall volume of those sounds, as well as the sounds of things like plating and stuff like that. When people plate up, the kind of stuff which you actually want to hear, you can't hear because it's too quiet. So the setting we want to use is midnight mode. And a lot of you guys will have gone through here and been like, midnight mode, what the hell does this mean? You need to really look into what this mode's doing, and then you understand why it's so important. So let's start off with the low dynamic range bit. What does this actually mean? Well, the dynamic range of audio is basically the range of volume between the quietest sounds and the loudest sounds. What having this mode enabled does is it brings down that range. It compresses the audio, and compression is a very, very important thing to do to any audio, especially game audio, for this exact reason. What are the loud sounds? Well, explosions, gun sounds, people shouting, you know, who are really near you. Do you need to hear those that loud? Probably not. So what this does is it actually brings down the volume of those. They don't get in the way as much. What are the quiet sounds? Footsteps. Plating up, people who are, you know, on the other side of a wall or in a building. They're the sounds that you want to hear. They're the sounds that give you the actual information to make a play. But that's all really, really quiet, and it's all covered up by those sounds above. Well, by bringing down that dynamic range, compressing the audio, we actually make those quiet sounds all louder. Midnight mode is a game changer. Now, I will say midnight mode does make the game sound worse. What I mean by that is the game doesn't sound as natural, but the information added from hearing footsteps that you've never heard before is insane. Now, we're not done yet. We need to come back to the main audio tab, and the first most important thing is bringing the master volume up. Now, a lot of you guys will say, but I like my master volume. I have it set there because everything's too loud otherwise. Let me explain why we want to turn this up. You see, when I was at boost high, which is what I used to run, I had my master volume at around 50. I now find that 75 is better for midnight mode. We're going to use a crude paint drawing to explain this. So what we were at before, let's start off. So with the black color, we had our dynamic range was something like this, right? So we had our upper limits. This is the loud sounds. And then we had the quiet sounds that were down here. Okay. So the loud sounds were really loud and the quiet sounds were really quiet. Then what we did is we activated the midnight mode. And what that did is it changed our dynamic range. So we're going to use the red color for what happened straight after that. So it brought the loud sounds down a bit to around here. And it brought the quiet sounds up a bit. So it lowered the dynamic range. It compressed the audio. So we've got sort of Q2 and we've got L2. So the loud sounds have got quieter and the quiet sounds have got louder. Now what we can do is turn up the master volume, and what that does is it brings both of these lines up. So we go to, let's go for blue now. This is the final result. The loud sounds now end up here, and the quiet sounds have gone up to here. Okay, so L3, let's call this, and Q3. So the end result of this is our loud sounds, in terms of just the normal, like, major sounds of the game, they've stayed at the same level overall, which is good. We didn't need to change them. We didn't need them quieter. We're not actually trying to make the game quieter to help, you know, our roommates from not being kept up at midnight. That doesn't really matter to us. But the quiet sounds have got incredibly louder. They've had a double bump in how loud they are. So the footsteps have gone from here up to here. And that's a massive, massive change that you cannot get in any other way other than using midnight mode. In terms of the other volumes in here, very important. Music, keep this off. Music is not helpful in-game. It is just an extra sound that gets in the way of hearing what you actually need to hear. Dialogue volume, it's personal preference. I've got it at 100 right now, but I'd actually recommend you bring it down to around 50. Sometimes the dialogue can be useful in-game because your guy calls out something useful, like, you know, a UAV's come in or there's an airstrike coming in. You don't really want to miss that, but you don't need it as loud as 100. Effects volume, however, ram that all the way to the right, 100%. Effects is the game sounds that matter. People plating up, people's footsteps, that is all effects. So keep that all the way maxed out. And there we go, guys. That is everything for today. I wanted to give a proper in-depth explanation as to why Midnight Mode is the mode you should be using. Your sound in-game is going to be so much better. You're going to be hearing where people are really, really easily. They're not going to hear where you're coming from because they're going to be using their bad setup, and you're going to be gaining a competitive advantage over everyone in the lobby. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope this has been enjoyable. If it has, leave a like and subscribe for more awesome videos coming very soon. It's been 4 All Dave. Thank you very much for watching.